as we get some Phillies action to talk about today. Last week, I remember came in on a Monday. Oh, my God, this guy's balling. How can they get swept by the Pirates? And a week goes by, and they go 5-1 against two decent teams, the Cubs and the Toronto Blue Jays. So where are the Phillies right now? I don't know, but we can laud what's good. For the time being, their starting pitching has been amazing, and they hit yesterday. So let's just go over the starting pitching. Wheeler yesterday, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts, 0 walks. Saturday, Sanchez, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 0 walks. Friday, Ranger, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, 0 walks. And then Wednesday, Luzardo, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 run, 10 strikeouts, 0 walks. If you don't walk people, you can win. The starting pitching has been pretty solid. Now, let's look at their hitting. Yesterday, they bashed. And 4 hits by Otto Kemp. And I wonder what it means. Because now I'm going to stretch it. Because I heard the morning show talking about, and they're ripping poor Bryce Harper. He can't do anything about anything right now, and he's getting ripped for not going into the outfield and not being willing to go into the outfield. I'm curious to know whether the morning show was alluding to the fact that the Phillies would be better off with Otto Kemp playing first base and Bryce moving to an outfield position. Maybe back to right field and Castellanos moves to left, and you got a little more balance in the outfield. I hope they're not doing that. I hope so. I hope not. Let's bring in Ray Dunn here. Ray, are we alluding to the fact that Otto Kemp now should be the regular first baseman and Bryce Harper should go back to the outfield?
I saw people on social media alluding to it, and all I could hear was your voice in my head. This town's obsessed with temps. He's a temp. He's a temporary player.
Listen, the kid had a moment. All right, he's slapping around singles. His slugging percentage is not very high. He hits a lot of singles, and he hustles. He can run a little bit. Nice little, he's like Luke Williams when they brought him up. And I go, come on now. Are we really going to fall into that rabbit hole where we're going to go overboard for Otto Kemp and say, well, if he could play first base and he can move Bryce to the outfield, are we going to do that? I hope not. Ray, are we doing that?
Not yet, certainly.
People are alluding to it, though, right?
Oh, I saw it all over social media yesterday. I was just perusing as I was doing the show yesterday afternoon, and I just saw people like, well, with 4 hits today, you got to wonder when Harper comes back, is he due for it? Was like, whoa. I don't know if you have to wonder. I think you should just enjoy Otto Kemp having a nice moment that hasn't been a net negative to have him on the team.
I was kind of obsessed with the U.S. Open yesterday, so what kind of hits did he get? I know he had a line drive single, brought in 2 runs. What were his other 3 hits?
Yeah, he's hit the ball, there's been flashes of him hitting the ball hard, but for base hits. It's not. Yeah. I don't think you've found this guy right now that we're thinking is going to be a perennial 20-home run guy yet, given what he's given you. I mean, it's been a nice start to his career. You get the 4 hits yesterday, but you allude to where the slugging percentage is as compared to what he's got. Like, his OPS is still a 766 while he's hitting 345. It's not exactly like his slugging percentage is off the wall. It's a 379 compared to a 345 average. Telling you he's got 1 extra base hit up here. Let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah. Listen, nice story. Nice kid. Seems like a nice enough kid with the mustache look. So they outscored the Jays in this series 22-6. That's all good. We're worried about the offense keeping up with the starting pitching. And I go, okay, now they're in the 3rd seed. So this is the way it changes. Like, we were talking about them being in the 6th seed just a few days ago and how they were in danger of missing the playoffs. Now they're firmly entrenched as a 3 seed, which means they would play the Milwaukee Brewers in the first-round series. If it stays like that, Mets, Cubs, Phillies, Giants, Padres, Brewers, they got the Brew Crew in the first round.
And I think they could handle the Brew Crew.
I'll take that. So if they can maintain and do that, then they've got a chance to win a series and get to the next round and and face whoever. Wait a minute. No, they're not. They're not. I'm sorry. That's a Brew Crew. The Dodgers. I'm missing the Dodgers in there. So
don't want the Dodgers. Never mind.
Never mind. The Dodgers would be the 3 seed. The Phillies would then play the Giants or the Padres.
I'm curious, though, for the people that last week, because you mentioned it last week at the start of the week, and we were all frustrated with them, but there's definitely people that were like, this team's not a playoff team, this team doesn't have enough to get there. Does last week do anything for you, for those people? Like, I'm so curious what the payoff is for people that were watching, like, this isn't a playoff team, they have the success they had last week. Do they enjoy it, or they're just like, you know what, I think the other shoe's about to fall for this team anyways?
I think they're a playoff team. Now, listen, they got 4 bops here. If they don't sweep this series against those utterly disgusting Miami Marlins, with able tonight going against Alcantara, who can't get anybody out these days, they should sweep 4, and then the schedule gets a little tougher. We'll see a cluster of really good teams. Are they a playoff team? Yeah, they're a playoff team. Now, are they a playoff team that can win something? Not until they make a significant deal, which leads me to the deal that was made yesterday at the Boston Red Sox get rid of Rafael Devers to the Giants, and that strengthens the Giants, certainly, for what looks like not a great return. I don't know. I think when you get rid of a disgruntled player and you get rid of a salary like that, you're better off. So, the Red Sox are building with youth. This guy's really been a pain in the butt. And I know I say baseball is an individual sport, but like stuff like that rubs off. When you're disgruntled all the time, it rubs off. And when you're fighting with the front office all the time, it rubs off. So I don't think the Red Sox made that bad of a deal. Do you? Yes. You do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, come on.
People are comparing this to a Luka deal. It's like, come on.
Well, yeah.
You did get some pretty good players in return, and you got rid of the salary. You got rid of $300 million, man. That's not cheap.
Yeah, for one of the 15 best hitters in baseball?
Yeah, all right. But
that's the going rate for them these days.
He's always pitching and moaning. You can't do anything with him. It's like Harper's never, well, as far as we know, not refused to play a certain position. This guy goes, no, I don't want to play first base. Forget that.
But the way they went about doing this, there was no communication like, hey, we're bringing in Bregman. We're going to need you to make an adjustment here. They brought in Bregman. He didn't know that until Bregman got there, and then they had the conversation with him. Like, I feel like that's a conversation. If you're one of the franchise cornerstones, hey, this is the plan we're going with. They would never. The Phillies let Harper pick where he was going to play in the field, and then adjusted their offseason to that said plan.
I guess, but it's like enough with the firing the players. You got to put a lineup out there. But the worst you could have had was him being your DH if Bregman was going to play third base. So, sometimes self evaluation is really good. Like, is he as good a third baseman as Bregman?
No.
Okay. Well, then, you got a guy who plays the position a little better. Suck it up. Play first base now.
Again. He should make the move for his team. They created the circumstances, though, where he was left in the dark until the move was made.
Yeah.
That's not something I think you do to a guy you paid $300 million to be one of your franchise cornerstones.
I hear you. And the natural implication is, should the Phillies have been in on this? And I go, where? Like, where would he have played for them?
So the idea that comes from here is you do not have Kyle Schwarber under contract past this season. Could there have been a world... And it does get kind of muddied by the fact of where Harper is health-wise right now. Do you think you could even move him to the outfield this season, given his health concern right now? Suspend that for a second. If that was not the hurdle that you have to pass right now, is there a world where you could have brought in Devers, either had him at third, moved Bohm to first, had him at first, had Bohm over at third? Because, again, the Giants go make this move, and they have Matt Chapman, who they expect to be a part of their team this season, at third base.
Yeah.
So Devers will not get his preferred spot of third base in this sign-up. And from what it was reported, I think Heyman said that his party says that he's happy about this, that he's good with the move to San Francisco.
Okay.
So if he's happy at a place where he's not playing third base, could he have been your first baseman? And you kick Harper into the outfield.
So it's the same concept. Instead of Otto Kemp, you have Devers playing first.
But it's a short-term move for Harper because Devers ends up becoming your designated hitter once Schwarber walks.
If you lose Schwarber.
Right. Could you have done that type of puzzle piece moving around to bring in a perennial hitter to this lineup at the price? Again, they sold him very low because you mentioned it. He's disgruntled, and it's a big contract that they wanted to get off of.
Well, did they sell him? They gave him their most promising starting pitcher, the young kid who was drafted. And they gave him the first-round draft pick this year. Who else did they give him? They
gave him Tibbs, Harrison. They got off of the Jordan Hicks contract, which is impressive for them.
Jordan Hicks is nothing.
And what was the fourth one in that deal? And they gave him Bello, who is, I don't even think he's in their top 40 prospects across their organization.
Yeah.
So they threw in a minor leaguer that is a nice.
Well, would it have cost you Painter? I guess if for Painter, would you have traded Painter to get Devers? Is the question.
I don't know if I equate Painter and Harrison.
Well,
like Harrison came up.
One guy that wanted to they ticketed in the rotation. So.
They brought him up, and he has not given you the feeling that he is someone that's sticky in a rotation right now in Major League Baseball. Like, they already pushed him to long relief.
Okay, so if you would have had Mick Abel as your front guy in that deal, you would have gotten him?
Could you have? If you could have, that's something I would have explored. Again, you have to get the Harper health hurdle something to get to. But the idea the Giants the Red Sox hardly even shopped him around. If you heard he was disgruntled, is that not a phone call you place?
I don't know. Well, we'll see how people feel about it. My first reaction was, would Harper go to the outfield in the middle of this season? Would they do that? They don't like to do stuff like that. All right.
But for Devers, again, we're not talking Otto Kemp. We're talking Devers.
I understand it. Slight Otto Kemp. How could you slight Otto Kemp?
How could I?
They got the solution already.
All right, my bad.
610-632-0975 is how you get in. The Phillies, are they back in your good graces right now as 4 games with the Marlins? Always tough Marlins. Stare them in the face. The Mike Missanelli Show, 610-632-0975. Texting, calling. Let's hear from you. Back after this.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. If you want more from the Mike Missanelli Show, somewhere on this screen, there is somewhere where you can hit the playlist. Keep interacting with us.